Attorney General Josh Stein is answering your questions until 6 o'clock. You can text those questions to us. The number is 379-5775, and we'll continue to answer them. All right, let's talk about the settlement with Honda from just yesterday and how thousands and thousands and thousands of people will be able to get their cars fixed.
Yeah, this was a case, unfortunately, very long in the making, but we kept at it to hold Honda accountable. Look, when you buy a Honda, you're going to trust it's safe, and it's certainly going to do whatever they represent it will do in terms of airbag performance. And that's not what happened. Their airbags were not performing. They knew it, and they failed to inform the buying public. So along with maybe 44 other attorneys general, Democratic and Republican from across the country, we have reached an agreement with them where they're going to pay real money, $85 million, $2 million of which will come here to North Carolina. And they will make a series of changes to ensure the buying public that when they say it's safe, it actually is what they say.
And we want that to continue on. Right now, we're showing folks that it's that $85 million to those about 48 states, and North Carolina got $2.2 million of that. So
That's right.
What happens with that money?
It will go to certain affected Honda buyers, and there's a website where people can go to make sure that they're registered and to learn more. It's called HondaAirbagInfo.com.
All right, and so what we've done is we put that in the Who Wants to Know section so that folks would be able to find that really easily. It says Honda and Acura drivers get free repairs for safety issues, and it explains the Attorney General's lawsuit and what happens and how you can get your car repaired and how you look to see if your car is one of the ones that is on the list. So you can look in the Who Wants to Know section for that right now. Someone just followed up and said, will Honda call me or send me something in an email if I'm eligible for this free safety repair? But I don't know that that is part of it. I think you have to go to them first.
Yeah, it's much better to just go to the website and take the affirmative action.
All right, so this person is asking about price gouging. It says, does price gouging typically only happen during states of emergencies and natural disasters?
The law comes into effect only when there's a declared state of emergency. So basically, if we're not in an emergency, people can charge mostly whatever they want. There are obviously some exceptions to that, but generally not. When the state of emergency is declared by the governor, whether it's after a hurricane or when we're in the middle of a pandemic, as we are today, then the law is in effect. And what it says is that a seller cannot charge an unreasonably excessive price to a buyer on something that they really need. And so yesterday, Tanya, actually, I filed a lawsuit against an outfit from New Jersey that was trying to sell N95 masks to UNC, Duke, the Red Cross, and State Emergency Management at an outrageous markup. They had said that they were barely marking it up, something like 2 or 3%. This is all in our complaint, our allegations. And we believe they marked it up over 100%. So they were trying to make $30 million on a single sale. At the time when these systems were desperately trying to get the masks to keep healthcare workers who are treating very sick people, keep those people safe. So it's outrageous. It's also against North Carolina law, and that's why I've gone to court.
All right, and so not every single price gouging complaint goes to court, but it all starts with people actually making a complaint and then you doing the investigation. And can we just talk briefly about what that investigation is so that folks will know what the process is?
Yes. So in this example, we heard from Duke and UNC about this attempted sale. And so we were engaged in actually extended investigation because it was a massive case. Another price gouging lawsuit that we brought involved a towing company that was ripping off truckers who were trying to get medical supplies, food, water, cleaning supplies back in the stream of commerce, again, back in March and April when everybody was at their most concerned. And we did an investigation, found out what they were billing, and then immediately went to court and put a stop to those illegal practices.
Okay. And I know that there are a whole list of items that were on the price gouging complaint list. I think the number one thing, though, was just groceries.
Yeah, and when it's groceries, that mainly is water. That was the main concern. And a lot of those complaints were the ones that came in on the front end We've actually seen a reduction in the number of price gouging complaints that have been filed with our office, but in some ways that's to be expected, because when price gouging is at its worst is when people are at their most desperate. And it's kind of hard at this point to put your mind back to where we were in March and April. But there was genuine fear, legitimate fear about, do we have enough PPE? Do we have enough cleaning supplies and water and food? And for people to try to exploit that fear and uncertainty, it's just wrong. And that's why there's a law against it. And that's why I enforce that law.
I think that there should have been its own line for toilet paper.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was one of the ones, that was the big thing too.
I still don't understand why there aren't cleaning wipes. Like, how hard is it to produce cleaning wipes?
And yet they say they won't be available until next year. Okay, Attorney General Josh Stein is going to be back in just a few moments to finish up this Q&A. You can still get your text questions in 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.